There we go. There we go. No mic. There we go. Anyways. Got my coffee right here. Coming to you live from the Moon studio. As you can see right out the back window from my studio, there's the Earth. Yeah. Coffee warmed up. I made it earlier, but, you know, I still heat up my coffee. Chatbot. Gaining point. Anyways, let me go back over the chat. Kevin, let's go! Ahu's, bam, I got you, boo. And then M. Hey, Jamie, hope you're doing good. Just wanted to pop in and wish you a great stream. Thank you, M. Thank you. Time for a cuppa. Hey, there we go. There. Let's test out. Hank. Mark. Hey. All right. I am currently a coffee bean. His mate. M says, "How you doing today?" Doing all right. It's actually me and Allie's anniversary. If you guys can believe that. 1/16/16. Polishing off my cup right now. Take another distance. I think you're gaining a my normal mic's right here. I don't know what's going on with it, but settings. Effect off. Yeah, I was using NVIDIA's. It's canceled, and I think that's probably a little too. Happy anniversary. Hope your day so much. Yeah, she's doing good. Allie's just putting her down for her afternoon. You're using your normal mic or ambient. Hey, right here. Same USB mic I've been using. I can do a let's watch that. Here, let me adjust some settings. Check. I might. So what I did is usually I have a noise gate and noise suppression on through yeah, usually I have a noise gate and noise suppression on the microphone through OBS, like their own like filters. But I was trying to take the burden off of OBS and use NVIDIA broadcasting software to do the noise cancellation. So I left the gate on OBS and then took off the noise suppression in OBS and then switched to the canceling in NVIDIA broadcast. So I had the NVIDIA broadcast and OBS's noise gate on, but maybe I had the noise canceling effect up too high on broadcast. But we'll have to mess around with that later because I don't want to keep troubleshooting the whole stream. So what I did just now is I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna do, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna add a noise suppression filter back on too. Here, good. Yeah, it's sounding better now. Good, good, good. All right. All right. Old settings back. Anyway, how are you guys doing? What are you guys up to? Ahu, M, Kevin, what have you guys been doing this Sunday? This Stream Beats album just sounds like straight like Sonic music. But yeah, I'm trying out something new. I'm trying out 2 different cameras for the stream. So I got this is my old Kaio Razor camera. I got like in gosh, was it 19? Summer 2019? You know, so it does 1080, 30, 720, 60. It's got its own built-in ring light. Quality's okay. The lens is kind of on the cheaper side, so it doesn't do well like at night, even with the light on. That's this camera right here off to the side. Then I got my main camera, which is old iPhone. And this one's at 720p. This one's 720p 60, and it looks like as good as like if somebody was using a mirrorless camera. I mean, this thing can do 1080 60 and even high resolutions, but that'll put a crazy load on OBS. So I might do like 4K 60 if I were to shoot like a video like offline, just recording, not streaming. But yeah, this is just 720 60. Look how good this looks. And then this is 1080 30 right now. So what you're seeing is 1080 30. I got a great call this AM. I got approved to be a member of a cosplay group. Oh, congratulations. That's exciting, bro. I'm working on other projects right now. Yeah, I saw that picture of you and what was it? Was it a Boba Fett costume, or were you a Mandalorian? I forget, but I saw that picture a while back. Have a lovely time. I have to go now. Hope everyone in chat is doing well. Hey, thank you for stopping by, and it's good to see you. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Getting patches installed on my vest and hat. Happy anniversary to you. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. My coffee actually tastes really burnt. You see, I have this diffuser. It's like that. It's like this like metal thing you're supposed to put over a electric stove top. Like you can use it to like reheat your like Chemex, right? Like, you know, like people have like, they leave like a burner on with their like carafe. And I know this to be true, but you know, if you leave like coffee on a burner and let it just keep warming up, you're just cooking the coffee. Like, you know, it's like leaving just something on the stove. Like coffee's really meant to be like brewed hot and then you drink it for the best experience. And then, you know, if you need to warm up, obviously warm it up. But man, I left this coffee on the stove on the low setting, and it actually just it tastes worse than heating it up. So my recommendation is this: if you need to keep your coffee hot, drink it until like the coffee in the crafter gets cold, and then put it into your cup and put that in the microwave. Because although microwaving it does change the like the taste a little bit, right? You can taste a little bit of difference, right? Not as bad as this. Like this tastes like it was just like soup left in a pot all night to cook. It was a Mandalorian. Okay, cool. If I can't stand that, made fresh, consumed fresh. That's right. Tastes way better that way. It's more work, right? But you know, anytime you want to do something with better quality, it's always going to require a little more attention and work. I'm gonna take a picture for socials. Everybody smile. So I could post on Insta, say I'm live. So I shouldn't just leave my carafe on warm with the coffee in it? No. If you're talking about the burner that your carafe sits in, no. What you're doing is you're essentially you're just like leaving your it's like leaving a stew on like a simmer, you know. It's the same premise when you cook something down, right? It's like changing something. And the same thing with coffee is that you're just like you're cooking the coffee at that point, or overcooking it. So, I mean, the sad thing is that if you're going to be drinking coffee in a cup, it's just inevitable your coffee is going to get cold. But I will say that the lesser of the two evils is to warm it up in the microwave. And what I do is I do half power. The reason why is if you guys have ever experimented with heating something on full power and then or half power for like double the time, same thing with the coffee. I'd recommend like somewhere between like a minute and 30 seconds half power. That way it warms it up, but it doesn't like intensely warm it up so it starts to really change like the profile. But yes, I would say, you know, don't leave your coffee on a burner. Yes, it's convenient and makes it warm, but also that's what gives it that sort of like burnt taste. Yes, I do have power too, since you had mentioned that a while back. Yes, good idea, good idea. You're reducing the amount of water in it and condensing it. Yeah, you know what's funny? That's so true, Ahu. So I actually, this is, the coffee in here is, the rest of this was the one that I experimented by leaving on the burner. And I actually had to add some water into it. Not that I noticed like a reduced in amount, but just to sort of like even out the flavors so it's not some strong like burnt taste. I use my Ember mug too, which is a built-in warmer in the mug, so you can set the temperature. Interesting. Yeah, I want to try those out. I've been seeing people post it a bunch. I'm curious if it does the same thing as like a warmer, where, like it cooks the coffee. You know, I wonder if it does a better heating job than leaving it just like on a burner. So I'm pretty sure I've said this before on stream, but because I don't want to keep mentioning the same things over and over again, but that's actually the reason why at Pete's Coffee, the first place I worked at, for those who don't know, you know the big vats, like you go to Starbucks and you go to Pete's or Coffee Bean Tea Leaf, all the big coffee vats are like behind them. They're like, you pay at the register and they turn around. You know, getting drip coffee is like a really quick process at any coffee shop, unless they got to make it, oh hey, we're out, can you wait 5 minutes, I gotta brew up another batch. You know the drill. So if you notice it, like that's what those big vats are behind everybody, right? They just turn around, fill it up, hand it back to you. You don't gotta wait at the counter unless they're making new stuff. But at Pete's they had timers on all the vats, right? Set to 30 minutes. So what happens is that you brew a fresh big batch of coffee in the vat. You set a timer for 30 minutes. At the 30-minute mark, you're supposed to dump the coffee. So whether you have like a cup left or a full vat left, right? Let's say like worst case scenario, you like brew a whole vat and nobody comes by in that amount of time to come get the drink. You have to dump it. And the reason why is they've done their studies, and it's sort of true. You could taste the difference. You see those vats, they're double walled, and in between the inner wall and the outer wall is water. And it's hot water that keeps the inner wall of where the coffee is stored like hot. So it's constantly being warm. So they brew it, and then that hot water in the middle between two walls in that vat keeps that coffee warm. Well, at the 30-minute mark, after they've done their studies, that's when you start to taste like degradation in terms of like quality. It starts to taste like burnt, like harsh flavors. So you dump it, see, because you can't serve that. That's what pizza is known for. Is that like, you know, one might argue pizza is, you know, it's the same tier as Starbucks, but I would say that like they do a good job at like their coffee training, their knowledge, and their attention to detail, and so, and they're concerned for a good quality coffee. So yeah, you dump it, and usually during like the morning to the afternoon, like the late morning, where it's like there's constantly like people coming into the door, you're never gonna have a problem of making all this coffee, then you gotta dump it all. That usually only happens like towards like the late afternoon and then in the night, because traffic's slow. So the reality is if somebody comes in and wants 1 cup of coffee, you've got to brew a whole vat. So in the daytime and the afternoon, you're actually always making new batches. So even though like nobody's coming through the door, like like because of the amount of rush, you don't wait. It's not made to order. It's like always being like cycled through, and it just so happens it works out. But in the afternoon, it's made to order. If it gets down to it, and it's like slow, yeah, towards the nighttime, yeah, it's made to order. You don't have drip ready, so like you can go like an hour without anybody coming in asking for drip. Like people coming in lattes, blended drinks, whatever, iced, cold brew, whatever it is. As soon as somebody comes in and asks for coffee, you got to give them the whole like, hey, we don't have any fresh right now, so I'll make you some. Could you wait 5 minutes? And they go, yeah, sure. So you got to brew a whole vat. If you just serve that whole guy, that could literally be the only guy that comes in the afternoon or at night and gets that coffee. So like you brew a whole vat for like 10 cups or so. What's happened a lot is you brew for just that one guy, and then the rest goes to waste, and you just dump it like you just dump it like in 30 minutes. All right, let me catch up on chat. I got myself an Ember for Christmas as well. It's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. They look really cool. It does start burning a bit when there's only left, and it's been a while, but that's not the mug's fault. I'd rather have a bit of mildly burnt coffee than to nuke it or throw it out. Still perfectly drinkable. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, they were that serious. It was like whether there was like this much coffee left or a whole big vat where you just dump it. And so it has like the spouts, like, you know, like a water spout you're filling like a Brita pitcher, or you just flip it and you just let the coffee just drain into this trench, this graded trench, or just drains out. But yeah, I've tasted it. So like they've trained you about it, but you also get to taste to see what they're talking about. So they keep little Dixie cups a lot behind in there. So what I've done one time is I've done it a few times, but like so I could try all the blends to see what they taste like versus made fresh versus 30 minutes of being warmed. So what I used to do is I'll get a Dixie cup of the timer will go off, and I go, oh, how much is left? Oh, okay, I'll try this. Fill up the Dixie cup of the stuff that's expired 30 minutes, right? Put that down, brew a fresh batch. After that's done in like 5 minutes, put it fresh into the Dixie cup. So now I have 2 Dixie cups of like one that's like after 30 minutes and one just made. You sip the 2, and yeah, like in comparison, the taste of like the 30-minute like old like coffee that's being constantly warmed tastes like just trash, like very burnt, very charcoaly. Now, understand this though. There's a difference between constantly heating coffee and keeping coffee warm. So my recommendation would be, if you're able to, after you brew your coffee, to transfer it to a device that keeps it warm for hours, that's better. Because at that point, it's just the device or the vessel is keeping it at the same temperature it is. It's not being constantly cooked. So there is a difference. So in the specialty industry, so that was pizza. I'm in the specialty industry. They're really big about like serving not serving coffee like that too. So, but what the machines we use in the specialty industry that most shops use is they have like this big bun brewer, but they brew into a thermos, like a pumpable thermos, like, you know, the ones that you press the top and it squirts in there, right? So that's what they actually do, is they brew them hot and then they transfer it into those thermoses, and they keep those on the counter. And those thermoses, again, what they're doing is those thermoses are just keeping the coffee at its brewed temperature. It's not like constantly warming it, and there's a difference. So you can actually drink like 3-hour warm coffee if it's been kept at that temperature. So like, I've been to a coffee shop and it was like, oh, like, when did you guys brew this? Oh, like 2 hours ago. And it was a coffee shop in Long Beach. It was Rose Park, and those ones were at Pete's. So like, yeah, and the girl was explaining. It was like, yeah, the reason we brew this, and like these thermoses last about 2 hours. Kind of after that point, it starts to get, the thermos can't hold the heat that long. It just doesn't do that well of a job. So at the 2-hour mark, they sort of dump it, but they don't dump it because they taste the degradation of the drink. It's because it starts to get too cold to serve, right? So yeah, that'd be my recommendation. If you want to like brew a big batch and then you're afraid of warming it, or like now that I've mentioned the burner thing and you don't want to do that anymore, my best recommendation is transfer it to like a hydro flask or a Yeti that can just keep that temperature for hours. All right, let me catch up on chat. Let's see. You should really get an Ember mug, Jamie. You're the perfect demographic for it. Yeah. I've seen, like I said, on my coffee Instagram, I've seen a lot of people post pictures of the Ember mug, and they say they really enjoy it. I agree with hopping on it. It's a lot for just a heated mug and entirely unnecessary, but darn, it's just so nice. I can control my craft temp from low, medium, high, so maybe just set it on low. I think low would actually just essentially be doing the same thing. You know, because on my let's say the stovetop, that's why I had it was on low, like the very, very low setting. So the only difference between low, medium, and high at that point is just how intense it is. But even on a low setting, essentially because you keep applying heat to that coffee, you're just cooking it on low, but you're still essentially cooking it. But yeah, you can play around with it. Like I said, in my opinion, the lesser of the two evils would to just be brew the coffee, and then if you're drinking it out of a mug that can be warmed in a microwave, to warm it there. Just based on my own taste, having tried coffee just sitting on a burner, plus coffee that's been brewed, but I warm it in the microwave does a better job of not like even it does a better job of not making it taste like burnt. Now, again, it does change the flavor profile. I will say that. But the lesser of the two evils, I would say that nuking it adjusts the flavor profile less than having it on a burner. Thank you for sharing your wealth of coffee knowledge, Lord Jamie. Oh, boy. But at the end of the day, it's up to you, right? At the end of the day, it is subjective. If that doesn't bother you, leaving it on a burner or keeping it like you know, like me, like on a stove where it's on low heat, whatever it might be, and that doesn't bother you, then you know, go for it. I'm just saying, based on my observation, with you know the objectivity to that of like, yeah, it does change the flavor profile, but if that doesn't bother you, then forget it. When I use the microwave, I do always use low power for a longer time. Does less damage. That is correct. I totally agree with that. Exactly right. It definitely does less damage. All right, here's a question for you guys. Are any of you guys going to get the PS5 or the Xbox Series X or S? Now that it's been a little over a year since the launch of them, any of you guys gonna get that? Indubitably. I'm sure you guys have heard me say it, but I'm not too excited about this generation. And it's mostly due to most of the games that are going to be coming out, like mainstream games, right? They're coming out for the Xbox and the PlayStation. I can get the PC variant. Because, you know, in my setup, just to the left of me is my entertainment center with the TV. So I think I've told you guys that, I have my main monitor, secondary, and then my TV is essentially a third monitor. So I can play most of my PC games from my couch with the Xbox controller when I want to. I just put Steam in big picture mode, or it's Steam, Ubisoft, Epic Games, Amazon Games, Blizzard Games, you name it. I can play any of those with the controller. So when it comes to like games that are multi-plat, I get on the PC. And I understand there's going to be like Xbox and PlayStation exclusives. So I know they won't be available on the PC, but a lot of that stuff is probably stuff I'm not interested in. But yes, that's sort of the main reason why I'm not excited about Xbox Series X or PS5. It's got to do with everything I would be getting on there. I can now get PC, because that's why I bought Xbox One and a PS4 was, like there was games that came out on both those consoles that I couldn't. Some of those games weren't really available on PC yet, right? Think about the Halo games, the Master Chief Collection, like a lot of that stuff. Well, I think the Master Chief Collection came out on the 360, right? But anyways, the point being is that like It came out there. Yeah, it did. It came on Xbox One, and it wasn't until like what, maybe 2 years ago they released the Master Chief Collection on PC. So that's an example. I actually originally got the Master Chief Collection on the Xbox One. So I was summer 2020. I was playing the Master Chief Collection on Xbox, and I don't know if they launched it on the Steam just yet. But that's the point I'm trying to make, is that like I got an Xbox because of Halo, but now Halo is available on PC. So it's like, okay, that was one major reason to get an Xbox Series X, you know, and there's, I think Gears of War is another big franchise, and I think they're doing like multi-plat, well, in terms of like they're releasing on Xbox and PC. So you get what I'm saying? It's like PlayStation was like, you know, the Crash Bandicoot games, Final Fantasy games, you know, with Reignited Trilogy and Insane Trilogy on Crash and Spyro, right? You see all that stuff, they've made it like multi-plat now on PC. So it's like, you know, like I got Crash Bandicoot, Insane Trilogy, and Spyro Reignited on the PS4, and then they later released it on the Xbox and then the Switch, and now you can get both of those games on Steam. I'm sorry, through Blizzard on the PC. I think Steam too, but you know, the fourth Crash Bandicoot game that recently just came out, was it like last year or something like that? Year and a half ago, 2020, late 2020. It's like you can buy it through Blizzard, so it's like I can play with the controller on my PC from my couch, play in better graphics. So, anyways, I already have my PS5. I don't think there's really enough of it out there to really justify it, but playing Monster Hunter World in 4K at smooth 60 frames was nice. Sick. Dude, that is the one other franchise I'd like to play, is Monster Hunter. I see a lot of good things about that. Kevin, here's a question for you. Are you thinking about getting a next-gen console, or do you think you would go just making a PC, building a PC, or using like Shadow on your Mac route? I still like to build a PC someday. Yeah, I mean, I personally am pushing it because it's so you can like play a lot of the games that like we all play together. But yes, I'm not much of a console gamer. I like point and click stuff better, right? Ooh, just built my first PC a few months ago. Nice. That's sweet, bro. I know you were gaming off your laptop for a while. I remember when you first started streaming, you were streaming on your laptop, I think, with and doing like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, right? That's cool, bro. I'm still too Super Sweet does everything I want to do. Nice. Yeah, I'm still too timid to build. I'm just afraid I'm gonna break something. That's why I bought a pre-built, but I don't know. I feel like I'm making it more dangerous out to be than it really is. Only thing holding me back now is internet. We just upgraded our internet to, what is it? We switched providers. So we switched from Spectrum to Verizon. I'm sorry, Frontier. And not only that, we actually upgraded to 1 gig over 1 gig. What's funny is in the fine print, it's like a max of like upload of like 940 and an upload of like in the 800s or something like that. Is that right, Allie? The fine print download speed 1 gig, like 940, and uploads like 8 something. Yeah, so it's like 8 something. It's kind of odd because like it just seems like a weird like marketing thing. Like I would argue like that's kind of like misleading. But I get it, because it's like, I'm sure for marketing they just want to make it like 1 gig over 1 gig, 500 over 500. But it's like, you know, I'm not really getting 1 gig, and I might argue that 60, right? That's an extra 60 megabits per second I'm not getting. I'd argue that that's a difference. It's not a major difference, right? I mean, at that point my internet's so fast, but I mean, I'd argue the difference between like, you know, if you paid for a 60 megabit internet and then some with 120 megabit internet speed that is a difference, but you get what I'm saying. And I'm sure they probably wouldn't call it like, ooh, Frontier's new 940 over 850 megabit per second speed. You'd be like, well, okay, that's too many numbers, too many words. Let's just say it's 1 gig because it's close enough. And it's just like okay, I mean, I get it. Like I should be happy I have a fast internet, but like that really isn't truly 1 gig over 1 gig. See, Basin says, I spent 920 hours on Monster Hunter World / Iceborne. I wasn't expected to enjoy it nearly so much, and it has a steep learning curve, but it's probably my game of the decade. Oh, interesting. It's the only game that I really look forward to coming home and playing rather than just a nice distraction. Right. But yeah, how's the internet? I'm still on DSL, getting a whopping 14 megabits download and 0.6 megabits per second upload. That's like my cousin's internet. It's funny, it's like out in Corona, the internet is like not that good there. But yeah, I am thankful for the quicker speeds. And I'm trying to directly connect everything that I can. I mean, so like with the 5G, it's interesting though, because the 5G speeds are like in the 400 to 600 range. 2G is actually pretty dang terrible. I mean, in the same room as the router, I'm getting like anywhere from like 40 to 100. It's like you go to the bedroom or whatever, it's like 20 megabits, even less. But yeah, the 2G is pretty terrible. I'm starting to realize the only thing that should be connected to 2G is like devices like Alexa and like a baby monitor or something, you know, stuff you really don't care about. Like I would even argue that like your phone, like a phone on that speed, is kind of annoying. I need a 75-foot Ethernet cord to go from the router to my PC. That's a long cord. I'm sure they make it though, don't they? Have you, Kevin, you ever heard of Eero? It's like a mesh router company. By Amazon. Anyways, so they gave this to us. They gave us one of these. And I was like, okay, what? The guy was like, yeah, you can use it as an extender. So we have one. He was like, yeah, what you can do is like, you can use this, because we have our normal like router that came with it, but then they gave us this, and the guy, the tech that was installing it, basically said like, you can use this as an extension to your internet. Basically, you know, he's like, all the steps to set it up, and then you can put it like in your bedroom and then like connect devices via Ethernet. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, I have my Steam Link, and the Steam Link has an Ethernet port, so I could use that, and then, you know, maybe it'll help with the Wi-Fi signal, but I have no idea how it works. Or did he not, like, understand, like, what's, yes, I heard it real about it, and when we first put the tent, we couldn't get it to work. But that's probably on my end. Dude, I'm having the same issue. I can't get this to work. It was like, what you do is you unplug your router, and basically you let it power down, and then what you do is you take the Ethernet cable from your Eero, plug it in your existing router, plug the power in, your Euro, plug the power into your existing router, let it do its thing. You get on the app and like set it up, and then you can basically like unplug it and then like move it to a location in the house. But here's what happens: I set it up, it works, but it works as long as the Ethernet cable from the Euro is plugged into my router. So as soon as I unplug Ethernet, it's just like it says offline. I did it like 5 times last night, and I'm like, what the heck? It says, I need to buy the cord, but I couldn't make one. Man, if Kevin was still at RHCC and me and him had access, I could ship you one. Kevin one time made me a Cat 5 cable. Do you remember that, Kevin? At RHCC, that one days you had all this, you had that big reel of Cat 5 cable, and you like made me one, and then like I took it home because remember I was trying to like connect my Wii and my Xbox because we didn't have Wi-Fi, and I was trying to connect. Oh no, I'm sorry. I can't remember. It was like 2010, and so I was like, I want the internet. I want the Ethernet connected all the way to my like Wii and my 360. And so like you made me that long Cat 5 cable. I remember that was fun. Well, yeah, since it's acting as a base station, it would need to be connected via the Ethernet. See, that's so weird. Why would the guy say that? Why would he say that this could be used as an extension? I'm so confused because it's kind of annoying because like if he's wrong about it, like it's not just an extender, then like now I have another like router that's like just sitting in my house. See, the only problem is that on the back of it, it's only got 2 Ethernet ports. So if I like, and I thought about switching it out with the router we currently they gave us when they set the internet, because I'm guessing the Wi-Fi tech specs on this using Wi-Fi 6 is better than the Wi-Fi on the router that came with it. The problem is it's only got 2 Ethernet ports on the back. So it's like one would be for the incoming from ISP, right? From like, you know, to the router, and then one would be used for either my computer or the Apple TV. You know, it's like I'd only have one option. Everything else would have to be on Wi-Fi. It'd only be able to extend with another Euro. Well, now I'm curious if like, so I have a question. Do you think that's the better route? Like, do you think that the Euro that they gave us is better than the stock light black plastic router? And if that's the case, should we go that route and then like use this and then buy like, you know, the extensions, right? These. I've enjoyed listening to your Mario background music. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I personally think a third-party Wi-Fi system is better. Okay. Because one thing they talk about is it's Wi-Fi 6, which, here's the question: does the router that we currently have, is it Wi-Fi? Let me turn off the Mario music. I realized what you said now. I had the Switch music plus this music playing. But the router that came with our system, just the default still the company brand, does that even have Wi-Fi 6? And that's the pros and cons of trying to weigh. Is it like the stock router they gave us, like, it's got 4 Ethernet ports that I can connect to my PC, to the Apple TV, you know? And it's like, I have all these ports, but if I get the Euro Pro 6 and swap it out, it's like it'll have probably better Wi-Fi, but it's only going to have one port available for the Ethernet. Well, then here's the other question, though. So if we set up a mesh network and connect a bunch of stuff via Wi-Fi, will that also help with making Wi-Fi better, right? I mean, like, so like the thing, right now our my Apple TV is connected to Wi-Fi, but if we set up the Euro with its Wi-Fi 6 capabilities, like and the 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 Apple TV and the router are like maybe only like a foot, 2 feet apart. So if we connect the Apple TV to like 5G, and then set up, the other extenders or whatever they are, right, around the apartment for a better mesh network, then I guess it won't be that bad if things are connected to Wi-Fi, right? It says, I personally think a third party. Okay, you just said that. I mean, your game audio is coming through right now. I guess not. You'd have to do some research to find out. I currently have 31 devices connected to my Google Wi-Fi at home, and I haven't had any issues yet. Okay, that's cool. See, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because if that's the case, because like there's that mesh technology, right, for the Wi-Fi coverage, then I guess things connected to the Wi-Fi won't be as bad, right? I mean, the only thing I really care about connected to the Ethernet is my PC. I thought about the Apple TV as well, because if it's gonna play 4K, if it's good. Oh, the switch is turning off. That's why. Like, if it's gonna play 4K HDR content and stream it from like Disney Plus or something, like, don't you like pretty quick speeds, like Ethernet speeds, or can like 5G like Wi-Fi get those speeds or get that kind of streaming content done too? You'd still want to connect your high priority stuff via Ethernet, like your PC, right? 1 second. Oh, you know what's kind of cool? I was trying out the the Apple Arcade, because we just set up our Apple TV like 2 nights ago, and I was setting up the Apple TV a few nights ago, and I synced an Xbox One controller so I could try out the Apple Arcade games. Dude, it's so cool. Like playing some of those games that are like compatible with the controller on the Apple TV versus just like looking at your phone screen, like Angry Birds, and then like just some other games. I was like, dude, it's like playing on an Xbox, except it's like iOS games. It's like really cool. Is it? Okay. Sorry about that. You hear things like disconnect and reconnect like crazy. Oh. Let's see. You need a minimum of 25 megabits to stream 4K HDR content. Really? Oh, then what the heck? Then yeah, then the Apple TV does not need to be connected. 50 is recommended. Easy. What do you think? Are you fiddling with over there? You're making me nervous. Should I make that like my sound alerts? Is that like reconnecting, disconnecting device sound bit file? Oh God, please no. Yeah, dude, you should make that your you should make that your alarm. I hear that all day at work. Oh, there you go, Kevin. You made the coffee. Wait, how long have you been Coffee Bean? Made it out of the instant coffee rank. All right, congrats. Hey, should I follow through with making like um a rank specific channel within Discord? Like, um, if you're Coffee Bean rank only then you can enter this channel. Incentives to be here. I really don't care about your content. I just want to be able to enter a a, a ranked channel. Brag about it. Well, let's get into playing some game. I'm playing my games. Ali, I should make that a sound bit file. I'm playing my game. That was Swooty. Like a year ago or so, she was like carrying my Switch in like the carrying case, and she was walking down the hallway going, "I'm playing my games." Anyways, let's get into playing some games. We're working on Donkey Kong. Remember, we're trying to get to the kill screen. Which they say you have to get like 3 million something. So I think I'm at 2 million. I don't know. I'm gonna keep going. It's just like I've come this far. I kind of want to like get to the kill screen, dude. Is like a fun experience. I haven't turned on my Switch on in a while. Any new features in the I should know about? Let's see. So for Nintendo and Super Nintendo, you probably should get a few games updated. Like some added to your library, right? They've like I've noticed like the frequency of them like uploading, adding games to the NES and Super Nintendo library has slowed down. But you know, back in October, that was when they launched the Plus subscription, which is, you know, they added Nintendo 64 and whoa, go, and Sega Genesis. Oh, run! Gotcha. Oh no, they're gonna catch up. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, go away, dude. Run, run. Oh no, he's gonna go across. Oh, he's not. Boom. Have you played through Donkey Kong Country? Not all of them, but a lot of them. Are they still talking about adding in 64 games? No, they did back in October. That's what the Plus subscription is. So now watch. I'll just show you what I mean. So check it out. So, you know, you have your SN or NES. Oh, I thought I was going to get in order, but look. So if you subscribe to the Plus membership, you get Genesis and N64 library. Super Nintendo, right? But you have to upgrade your membership to get the Genesis and the N64. It does not come with your standard membership. just so you know. So yes, with the standard membership that you have, you should, if you haven't done it in a long time, you should have like some more games added to your Super Nintendo and probably the NES. But if you, again, if you want the Genesis and N64, you need to upgrade to the Plus membership. I don't think I have Plus, and I would hop on it. It's really cool. They've been adding some games, and again, the same premise is that their plan is to, always be, whoops, adding games. So give me a second. After I beat this level, I'll go back out to the Switch home screen and just open up the Nintendo 64 and the Genesis so you can see what is currently out now that you can play. 8. Oh my gosh. There we go. Oh, here we go. No! Get the hammer, get the hammer. Yeah, after I beat this level is what I meant. Then we'll go out to the main home screen. Oh shoot. Home screen and show you. Come on, dude. Wait, go up. Yeah, there you go. Oh boy. Boom, there we go. My best friend and I have been playing New World. I have like 400-ish hours into it right now. Other than that game, I've been playing anything. Dude, I've heard good things about New World. A lot of WoW players, a lot of Final Fantasy 14 players love that game. Alright, because once I start it up. Alright, Kevin, let me show you what you can get right now with the N64 and the Nintendo Switch Online Genesis. Takes me too long to download stuff, right? And of course, what you said is very true. When you play an MMORPG like New World, you really don't have time to game with other stuff. That was the dilemma, is that like if you've got a big backlog, I would not recommend picking up an MMORPG because, with most games it's like it's point A to point B. You play through it, you're done. MMORPGs it takes forever to level up. There's so many things you could do, and it's like usually in most MMORPGs you don't even get to end game until like you fully max out your level. And then there's always stuff to be doing. So that's the danger. Anyway, so here's what you get with Genesis currently. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I'm curious why they didn't add 1. I'm guessing they went with 2 because apparently 2 is like one of the better selling ones, I think. Might be the best selling Sonic? Someone could look it up to verify, but Dr. Robotnik's Bane Machine. Show me, Daddy. Every day at a specific time, we do elite chest runs to get our gear up. Sweet. That sounds like fun. Toe Jam and Earl. Thunder Force 2. So yeah, this is what you got. They have so far for Genesis, and of course they're going to be continually updating that. And then let's go over to the N64. Sometimes there's like 50 people doing the same run at the same time. Monsters die easily, right? Yeah, what's a bummer is that when you have everybody trying to do the quest. I remember when Classic came out and I was playing that in summer 2019, August, September-ish. It was like when you try to do a quest at like the beginner areas, it's like you have to wait for mobs to like respawn so you can get the item. So I got Paper Mario. One of my favorite Paper Mario games, actually. It might be my favorite Paper Mario game. Yeah, it might actually be my favorite. It's the first Paper Mario game that I actually played through on my own and beat on my own. Years later, though, I beat this when I bought this on the Wii U shop. The Ocarina of Time, Tennis, Roblox 64. Oh, and just so you know, something kind of interesting is that for Mario 64, the emulation for this is like the default from years ago. In a 4x3, whatever it was, 240p. What did the N64 play in? I forget. Anyways, so if you play the graphic fidelity of this versus 3D All Stars that came out like August, September 2020. Do you guys remember that? So somebody did a side-by-side comparison of the Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo Switch Online versus Super Mario 64 that was a part of the 3D All Stars. And side-by-side graphical comparison, the 3D All Stars was actually better because it's, you know, all three games they like upscaled the graphics. I think so. So Sunshine and Galaxy are upscaled to 1080p. This was upscaled to an obscure resolution. It's like a higher 4x3. So I don't think it's in 1080. I don't think it's in 16:9 on 3D All Stars. But anyways, just so you guys know that this Super Mario 64 here is not upscaled to look better. It looks like the best fidelity you could get on your N64. So N64 with RGB SCART cables, that's what you get. Nothing upscaled, no sharpening, no enhancements, nothing. Okay, so just a few games, good to know. Yes, not a lot yet. I'm guessing that N64 emulation is probably, so N64 emulation is harder. Not that it is like really hard, but it's just harder than Super Nintendo and NES. So I think there's usually two things for Nintendo to push emulation out, like on the NES, Super Nintendo, on their library. I'm talking specifically for the Nintendo Switch Online games, right? This is all emulation, right? Right. So what's not emulation is you literally playing a physical game. Playing this game on a Switch, if you're playing these games anything other on the N64, it's being emulated. So there's generally two hurdles for emulation, right? Is compatibility, making sure the game runs like flawlessly, right? And then number two is licensing. You have to remember too that, you know, not all these games are Nintendo's own like IP, right? That like a lot of these games are developed by other companies, so they have to get the licensing rights to re-release these things in emulation, right? Like Winback, and then this game. Didn't it make Paper Mario? Forget who developed it, but anyways. So Nintendo has no problem. So the only hurdle for Nintendo with their own IPs is just compatibility, making sure it runs smoothly without any like weird glitches. They don't have to worry about licensing because it's their own. But other games like this, it's like they might get to run smooth, but they've got to jump through all the hurdles of like licensing to like put it up for people to play. You know, that's another major hurdle. And you're probably asking like, oh, but like why? The Wii and the Wii U have like way more games up. And it's like, yes, but a couple things. The games that were available on the Wii and the Wii U, the licensing rights to use those games the contract might have run out, so they maybe have to submit the request to use those games. And then number two, Switch is a different animal than the Wii U or the Wii, right? So they've got to make an emulator that works on a Switch to be able to play those games. So they had to like start over from scratch, if that makes sense. Anyways, let's get back to Donkey Kong OG. I'd like to play Donkey Kong 64. I think was that one of the games they were talking about releasing on the N64 library? I hope so. I know Banjo-Kazooie they're doing. I also know they plan on doing Pokemon Snap. Thanks for the tour. You got it, Kevin. Oh, and just so you know, too, I forgot to mention something very important. So, with these games, you can play online with your friends. So, like Mario Kart and any other like multiplayer game, we can play together if because you're on my friends list for the Switch. That goes for you too, Mason. Like, for example, if we go to quick save, let me just show you what I mean. It's a lot easier. Game selection. Look, so on the left-hand side, next to my head, the heck? Over here, sorry. Right here. Look right here on this column. So you got 1-player games, 2-player. So this is organized by 1 player. Then I can do 2-player. But of course, it'll like filter it out so it's 2-player compatible games. And then there's play online. And this is also available on the N64. This is this play online portion right behind my head. Okay, anyways, you see it. How this works. So this is available on the NES, Super Nintendo, the N64, the Genesis. But the only the only con is that you can only play with your friends. You can't play this online or like enter like random lobbies like Mario Kart. But what this means is that games that are compatible that you can play online 2 players, you and I can play, Kevin. So this also works for 64 games. So let's see. So if we open up the N64, Kevin, I know you said BRB, but I'm gonna show you one more thing real quick. Or you can just play this back on the VOD, but one more sales pitch. Play online. So this means that, Kevin, you and I can play like Mario Kart and Star Fox 64. Things that are multiplayer, even Mario Tennis, online. So that is what I would call, and what most people call, a quality of life update that they do for these games, right? These games that are like, made available now on the Switch, they're not just raw like games made they're emulated. They did quality of life updates. So one is quick saving and quick loading, the rewind feature, right? And then being able to play online with people. Kevin, now you can go to the bathroom. Just kidding. Whatever you're doing. You are dismissed now. Oh, come on, dude. Go. I'm gonna get past this guy. Oh no, that's too far down. Dang it. Oh, that worked. That's the beauty of rewind there, folks. A witch! A witch! That sound file plays for me using the rewind feature on these old games from Monty Python. A witch! Come on. Oh my gosh. Dang it. Get me. Oh. Oh, I really don't want to go back down there for that other thing. Oh boy. Oh, go away. Go away. Thank you. Oh! Dude, I'm just trying to get that. Oh my gosh, go away. I'm literally just trying to get to the kill screen, and it's like stuff like this, it just makes it a lot harder. Oh boy. Come here. There you go. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Dude, I had Randy's donuts. We ordered it today for breakfast. It's like our Sunday tradition because we watch church online. And then we order up breakfast and we kind of eat it while we're doing our church online. We did Randy's Donuts. For those who are in the LA county area, I'm sure you've heard of Randy's Donuts. They're like famous. They do this churro donut, which is amazing. It's a raised donut, got white vanilla frosting. They actually put Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal on the top, and then they drizzle it with, I think it's cinnamon. I think it's a cinnamon drizzle. Cinnamon caramel drizzle, maybe. But yeah, it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's the donut. It's so good, because when they make those donuts, and then you order them pretty early in the day, so they haven't been sitting a while, it's like, you know, you have the crunchy crispiness of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and then you got the softness of the raised donut. It's just a symphony, dude. Symphony of textures and flavors. But, you know, if you get that donut late in the day or let it sit all day, it's like that Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal just gets really soft and gross. So that's the only... Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, that was way too high of a jump. Yeah, that's the only downside with, like, the cereal topping donuts. It's like, you can't really save those even for the next day. So most donuts... Like, if you get donuts from anywhere and you, like, save it for the next day... Generally, donuts will be fine, right? So you're thinking, what? Like, no, dude, donuts no good after the first day. Might I suggest the reason why? And I found this to be true. You know, there's a lot of independent donut shops that really don't have any integrity in terms of, like, quality. Might I suggest that? Because you're like, man, why does this cake donut just, like... So a lot of you, I know this, so a lot I want to talk about, but... A lot of you don't like cake donuts because you're like, it's dry. That's only true because wherever you go to get your donuts, that cake donut is probably a day or two old and they're serving it. I'm just telling you that right now. Most independent places, they don't throw their donuts out at the end of the day. And they save them all night. They put a cover on and they serve them in the morning. Now, again, it's servable. It's edible, but it's not great. And so that's the reason why, because you go to, like, you know, because people always talk to, oh, dude, you need to go to local Joe's Donuts. Like, that's my, you know, everybody's got their donut place, you know, like their pizza place, right? Like, this is my donut shop. And you go there and you're like, what's so impressive, man? It's like, whatever, you know? And the reason why is it, again, might I suggest to you that most places are not, their donuts aren't 100% fresh. And I found this to be true based on based on one thing. Is that I go to Randy's Donuts is always going through donuts because Randy's Donuts is like a famous place. So you have a lot of tourists and people always eating there. So they're going through donuts pretty quickly. They don't sit. But I will say that Randy's Donut can last up to a full day, day and a half, maybe even 2 days. And there's barely any degradation, right? Because you're thinking like, what? A donut the next day? Yeah, that's because when you bought that donut fresh, it was probably already a day old. That's why it tastes like that. That's why it's like the cake donuts. You're like, yeah, because I know exactly what you're talking about. Cake donuts are gross because they're like dry, right? Yeah, it's dry because at this point you've probably had it late in the day or it's from the day before. Randy's Donuts, their cake donuts are like soft and like moist. That's how a cake donut is supposed to taste. But I get why most people don't like cake donuts because they're dry. You're right, they are dry. But that's because the places serving those donuts, they're not throwing their donuts out and making them fresh in the morning. They're keeping them out until they're probably stale, right? I mean, the only time, because think about it, if you're a small business, there is a truth to it, right? I'm not like totally bashing them, like, you know, how dare you like serve like day old donuts. I mean, you gotta think, Randy's Donuts has the ability to be going through donuts and making them fresh because people are buying them, right? But if you don't got a lot of people buying your donuts, that costs money for you to make all those donuts and then just throw them out. So I guarantee you a lot of owners that with donut shops are faced with like, okay, serve 100% fresh donuts, you know, and then like be on like strict and like throw them out and like take it on the chin when they don't sell, or you know, serve donuts up to like a day, day and a half, and you know, maybe they got it down where they know like exactly when their donuts become like unedible, so maybe it's like 2 days out sometimes, right? And I guarantee you they're probably faced that dilemma. It's like, yeah, like fresh and expensive, you know, or like save like, cause, you know, they can't afford it. They can't afford to be making them fresh every morning. Think about that for a second. So it's not like, so it's like, yeah, it's crappy that like they do that, but it's like understandable. There's a reason why. I mean, it's the same reason why a lot of restaurants that like, you know, make the decision to buy frozen stuff versus making stuff fresh, because they can freeze it and it lasts. And of course, we're talking like, you know, the quality goes down, but like now like you're able to save food. Yeah, I don't know. So it's that dilemma, right? It's like, do you make things fresh and like have that integrity that when it's starting to go stale, you throw it out, whether you made no money, right? Because like you gotta think like, you know, a lot of small business owners, it's like, dude, like they're not big corporations that can just kind of like go through money, like, you know, Starbucks or Pete's, right? So when I worked at Pete's Coffee, do you know that like it's somewhere between 6 to 8 drinks remade is when like you break even. So like a place like Starbucks or Pete's, they have no problem remaking your drink or giving you like, hey, a drink free on us next time card, because it takes about 6 to 8 drinks being made to break even in terms of the cost. So they can afford that, right? They can afford to remake a drink 6 to 8 times. But a lot of these small coffee shops, like, if you like are unhappy with your drink third or fourth time, like they'll just give you your money back. They can't afford, or they'll kick you out because they know that like it's not an issue of like the drink's made wrong. It's just like you don't like it. Like, oh, I don't like, because I've had customers like that before too. It's like, it's not that like the drink's remade like 3 or 4 times because I can't get it right. It's more of like, here, want to try our seasonal drink? Oh, you know what? It's not that good. So you go, okay, here, you want to try this drink instead? You know, and again, it's not because like the drink is, I made it bad. It's just more of like, it's their first time. They don't know what to get. And so you're kind of willing to work with them going, okay, I can make like maybe another drink for you. But at the 6th, 8th time, like that's too expensive. But you see, Pete's can afford that. So with that being said, that's like kind of the same thing with like independent donut shops, places like Randy's or, you know, even Krispy Kreme, like the Krispy Kreme off of Artesia and like the South Bay, dude. The donuts, the glazed donuts, are on the conveyor belt, like always fresh. Yeah, I know Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme is like the McDonald's of like donuts, right? But like they're always fresh because like people are just going through them, so they don't need to worry about like stuff sitting. So I don't know. I hope that makes sense. But anyways. Yeah, Randy's Donuts is awesome. And, you know, a lot of times when I get Randy's Donuts, I'll, like, get a dozen, and, like, it'll take me, like, 3 days to go through, like, a box of donuts. You know, of course, shared with, like, my wife, you know, and even Zoe, who wants to nibble on a donut here and there. And by the 3rd day, they're fine. But, you know, you couldn't do that with, like, another independent shop, because, yeah, sometimes, like, you get, like, even a donut, like, in the same day, it's like later, it's like the icing is like starting to do weird stuff where it's like, it looks like the icing is like separating and getting watery, you know? You know, I have me and Allie have a saying is that a day-old Randy's donut tastes better than a fresh Krispy Kreme donut. And that's not implying that Krispy Kreme is like not fresh, but what I mean is like Randy's quality and like their flavor of their donuts is like light years ahead of like Krispy Kreme. Like, and again, like that's why to me Krispy Kreme's like the McDonald's of the donut, right? They get it done. But Randy's Donuts is like falling into the specialty where it's like higher quality ingredients, a little more attention to detail because they can. They're a smaller operation. But anybody here ever heard of Randy's Donuts or been to Randy's Donuts in LA? You know, Randy's Donuts was opened by two guys, and they actually sold their business like back in like 2017, I think. And they've been expanding like crazy because I think even when they were just the two owners, they had like maybe 2 or 3 locations in the LA County. In the original one is the one if you've seen have you seen Iron Man, right? Where he's like eating a donut like in the big donut. You know, that's like 10 minutes north of me, like off of like the 405 freeway. That's the original Randy's Donuts. And then they had like maybe another second or third location in LA County somewhere. Like I've never been to those other ones, but I knew they existed. But now that they sold it, they're expanding. So they've opened one in El Segundo. The most recent one that is in Torrance. But what I've noticed is that with their expansion, right? Because here's what a lot of people fear, right? Is that when you sell off a business, it goes corporate, it goes big, and they go up in quantity but down in quality. I'll say this right now. They have not gone down in quality. So it's like I'm whoever bought it, whatever bigger corporation owns Randy's now, I can confidently say like they're concerned about quality. Like the donuts at the Torrance location taste just like the original ones off of La Cienega, off the 405. So good. It's like the donuts, they're like melt in your mouth. Like even the cake donuts are like melt in your mouth, man. But they have a Fruit Loop. Oh, glitch out. We're getting close to the kill screen. Please, please, please. Please, are we getting close to the kill screen? Right now we're at 1 million or 2 million. No, we're definitely at, I think we're at 2,800,000. So how it works for those unfamiliar with this, who've never done the kill screen or seen people. So basically the score on the right says top. Basically once that hits like 999,000, 98,000, whatever, that stays, but the left score, the one that says I, that one is the one that's always looping, right? So I believe I'm on 2 million. I believe so. 2,831,000. And I think it's at the 3 million. I think it's at 3 million, like 300,000 range that is when you get close to the kill screen. Because it's all about your score. It's not about your time, like how quick you can go through all these levels over and over. It's about your score. And again, for those who don't know, the kill screen is like the game just doesn't know how to process like the memory or something. So it just like at one point the bonus, you see how it's dropping to 5,600, 500. Eventually it'll just like start me out at 800. Is it 800, 600? I forget. And it's just like you won't be able to make it like anywhere in a level. It just kills you. That's the kill screen. And I'm hoping it's coming soon, bro. I'm hoping this next time around. Well, obviously we know when to anticipate. It's in the 300,000 range, so it's not like I'm like, oh, is it the next level? So I'm hoping to get there pretty soon because I'm just over this. You know, I've been playing this on and off, this game, to do the kill screen since August. Oh, that barrel was like half registered. Oh boy, I think we're glitching it out. I've been working on this game on and off since August. What I mean on and off is with, you know, quick saves, quick loads, and playing it for maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes at a time, slowly chipping it away. You know, you could, I think you can get to the kill screen if you play this for like hours straight in one day. But, you know, with the ability to quick save and quick load, it's like one of those things where it's like at your own leisure, you can like pick up and then stop and then, you know, do it over and over and over again when it's convenient for you. But, so the reason why I'm trying to get to the kill screen is, this is kind of a part of, a lot of you guys know, but not everybody knows that, you know, I started a series called Playing Through the Franchise. It's called PTF for short. It's on YouTube. And essentially a PTF series I'm doing is called, it's short for Playing Through Franchise. So I'm doing a PTF Mario series. And I'm trying to be as strict as I can. If you go on Wikipedia, you can look at the list of games by date in chronological order. And it starts off with Game & Watch game. So I've been playing... I played a lot of the Game & Watch games. And I think we're like this is the third or fourth game in? But yeah, I'm trying to be pretty strict about like the order of Mario games I'm going. And if I'm doing the Playing Through the Franchise series, it's going to take a while. So we're going to have to hunker down. Like, we're not going to be able to play through this and then be at the new Mario Rabbids game in 2022, like within like a month. This is gonna take years. So I figured if I'm gonna be playing through the Mario franchise, maybe I should do each game 100% and like make it a thing, right? Like, there's no rush. We're just trying to play through every game, but let's do 100%. So 100% for this game would be, is the kill screen. That's what I would say the 100% is, right? Other games, it's just gonna be like collecting everything on levels, yada yada yada. But so I'm trying to, so in addition to playing through the franchise in a strict chronological order, I'm gonna try each game to like get 100%. And maybe that means like, you know, once I beat a game, like move on to the next game, and then while I'm playing one game which is kind of easier, like a Mario Kart, at the same time also go back and 100% the previous Mario game that was before it. I don't know what it'll look like, but my goal is to 100% every possible and playable game that I can get my hands on in this series. So like what just happened? So if you're curious of the games I've already played, you can go see them on YouTube. I'm documenting it by playing. So instead of playing this like off stream, like on my own, just like recording it, I'm trying to do 2-in-1 where like I stream it so you get to see like it raw, live with all the mess ups and fails. But also, you know, with Twitch, you know, you can download your streams, and so I can edit past streams into a video and then upload it later. And that's what I've been doing. So far on my YouTube channel, I have a few, I think like 2 Game & Watch games uploaded, and it's like the first 2 Game & Watch. It's the first 2 Mario games in like the whole technical franchise series. But if you're asking me how I played it, it's those Game & Watch games are played via Game & Watch Gallery, because that just would be too expensive and too long and too hard to capture with buying the physical Game & Watch games and then like trying to capture with like a camera, because the, you know, the original, for those who don't know, the Game & Watch games originally were just like on those like, you know, those like handheld systems that have like one game built into it. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is bad. Here we go. Woo! Had that other guy come up and trap me in, that would have been bad. But it was just easier to play the Game Boy Gallery variant. Then I can capture it and then, of course, play with the controller. Quick save. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever, bro. Oh, what was that? I was talking with my cousin the other day. Actually, I think it was yesterday. He sent me a video of this like Super Mario 64 project. It's like Super Mario 64 with like ray tracing and DLSS. Pretty cool. It's like obviously it's played on PC, but it's like with ray tracing and it's like really high-end graphics. It's not like a remake in the sense of like a whole new engine built from the ground up. It's just enhancing the actual engine of Mario 64. But it looks so good, like with the lighting and the shadows. I mean, that's like one big thing ray tracing does is like real time like lighting and shadows. So cool. But you know, I was thinking is that because my cousin said, dude, like Nintendo should have done this or something like this, right? Oh boy, and Nintendo, a little over a year ago came out with the 3D Super Mario 3D All Stars. And when the Insane Trilogy came out and the Spyro reignited, a lot of people had hopes that Nintendo would follow suit and like do the same thing, like the first 3D Mario games, but redone. So what happened is that we did get those 3 games that are slightly different, but we didn't get them like remade, which is kind of a bummer. So 3D All Stars really should have been like remade with like the Odyssey. I'd say this, probably the most recent engine is the engine the Odyssey was built on, Super Mario Odyssey, for those who don't know what I'm talking about. And how cool would it have been to have Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy redone with like the Odyssey engine? That's really what Nintendo should have done with the 3D All Stars. Except all we got was like the 3 games like just upscaled to a higher resolution. And it's like, yeah, it's like it looks better, but like all it is it's the same games, the same graphics, just in a higher resolution. So yeah, it looks better, but it's not like Crash Insane Trilogy or Spyro Reignited. Like I said, like I don't think Nintendo would release anything on the Unreal Engine, which is what both those trilogies are. They're on the Unreal Engine. But it's like, bro, like re-release those games like on the Odyssey engine. How fun would that be? I mean, we kind of got a taste of it, right? If spoiler, like if you played Odyssey, you know that one of the kingdoms is you kind of get to revisit the castle from Super Mario 64. It's not like exactly the same, but you get the idea of like kind of what it would be like if they would have remastered 64 with the Odyssey engine. And that's really what they should have done. But with Nintendo really doesn't Nintendo doesn't really do fan service because everybody's been like asking for this. So, sometimes Nintendo will like meet the fans halfway, but Nintendo has been known to really not entertain fan service. And I guess that's what makes them unique. I guess that's what makes them Nintendo, right? They're kind of like Apple. I don't know if you guys remember, but like, it took years for the iPhone, the Apple, the iPhones, for them to sort of make like cheaper variants. And I don't mean like it's just the cheaper iPhone is an older model. What I mean is like the new models, but like cheaper versions, right? The first one came out with like the iPhone color, the CE, right? What was it, iPhone 5 CE? That's when they came out, the iPhone 5s that like had all the different colors and it was like cheaper. But So like for years, it took them until the iPhone 5 to make like a cheaper variant. Because, you know, like Apple's like, you know, like we know what's good, we know what's best, and that's why people like our product. Like we don't take input from other people because like if we did, then, you know, then you take the risk of making stuff that's like subpar. And Apple's kind of like that, right? It's like, no, we do what we want and you'll like it. But anyways, I don't know if you guys remember, like when they first, so when they launched the iPhone Color 5, it didn't do well in sales. And everybody's like thunderclapping Apple on Twitter for years going, bro, like, make a cheaper model. Why they gotta be so expensive? Like, make an affordable model. So guess what? They do, and nobody really ends up buying them. And apparently they did terrible in sales. But that's what happened when, like, Apple tried to, like, do a little bit of fan service, is that, like, the fans, like, they didn't support Apple in their, like, in their launch of, like, a cheaper phone. And I'm curious if, like, that's, like, Nintendo's kind of like that, too, is that, like, hey, like, we're kind of like Apple, we do what we want, you'll like it, and if we do fan service, like, you know, that we really don't do, is like, is that gonna do well? Because, you know, we are concerned about sales. Like, is it gonna do well? Like, what if we listen to, like, a big group of people make a game that they request, but then, like, the majority is like, what? You know? Or, like, ruin their sales. You know what's kind of interesting too is that I'm sure those who like are like into it, right? Staying up to date with like tech news and like, you know, kind of like doing your study as like a retro collector and knowing the history behind every system and launch date and the reason why they came out. You know, the Switch is really interesting in the sense that, like, you know, it's not on the same timeline as the PlayStation and the Xbox anymore. Like, do you guys remember for years, Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation all kind of released consoles in the same, either the same quarter or the same, like, semester, I guess, right? Like, traditionally it was always like, the consoles come out in November, so your parents, or you, as an adult now, your parents can get it for you for Christmas, right? Comes out in November, they go do the Christmas shopping all December, you're like, ooh, I hope they got it for Christmas, I hope they got it while I was at school. And, you know, all three consoles, that's like when they launch, is that in that time, right before Christmas in November, so you can get it for Christmas. And that's always been tradition, right? They always launch, like, in November. Well, here in America, at least, right? But Nintendo kind of threw off their timeline with the Switch being released in March 2017. And so the question is the March, is the Switch a next gen console in terms of like is it like a PS4, Xbox One era console, or is this the PS5, Xbox Series X console, right? And so what happens is that, you know, the Wii U came out. The Wii U came. For those who don't know the history of the Wii, you can look it up. I don't want to get on a whole tangent about that, but the Wii U came out in 2012, and it was supposed to be the same era as the Xbox One and the PS4. But it flopped, so they quickly came out with the next system, the Switch. But instead of waiting till, I guess if the Wii U would have done well, the Switch would have launched like November 2020 with the PS5 and Xbox Series X. But, you know, Nintendo threw out their whole timeline to get another console out as quick as they could because the Wii U flopped. And it's really sad. You know, the Wii U flopped not in terms of like a product on its own. What made the Wii U flop was simply marketing. I mean, you guys can look it up. And for those who don't already know, I'm preaching to the choir. I know you already know this information, but again, I'm talking to people that might be lurking who are like, the Wii U? Yeah, I heard of it. Was it like another Wii? You know, the whole flop with the Wii U wasn't because it wasn't like a good system. It was an amazing console that nobody knows about. It flopped all due to not the product itself, but to marketing. That'd be like if the Tesla came out, and you guys know about the Tesla. I mean, you might disagree whether you like electric cars or not, but the Tesla's a great vehicle. It's a great electric vehicle. But it's a great vehicle because of literally the product itself, right? Not marketing. And that's kind of like the Wii U, it's like, could you imagine the Tesla if like they did poor marketing and nobody bought a Tesla because of like customer confusion with the marketing? You're like, what? That's so weird. Like, because the Tesla's such a good car. And that was literally like the Wii U. The Wii U was like an excellent console. It wasn't like a cheap, it wasn't like a Sega, you know, CD 32X extension trying to keep the Wii alive. It was literally a brand new console able to do 720p, 1080p on some games. Like, dude, like during the Xbox One and the PS4's original launch, like that era. But it didn't do well because of marketing, not because the Wii U was like a flop, like glitches and just no good IPs. It's like, dude, no. The Switch had amazing games. The idea that the gamepad was so fun to use. My Wii U's still in the entertainment center. And the whole Pro controller, so it's like if you didn't want to use like the Wii U, like you could actually use a full controller. You know, it was so cool. It was like a full-on next-gen console with great games like Yoshi's Woolly World and 3D All-Stars. Oh, I'm sorry, Super Mario 3D World, which is now ported to the Switch. Came out last year, February 2021. It's like, you know, so many great games came out for the Wii U. And again, the flop had nothing to do with the product and everything to do with marketing, customer confusion, and just, yeah. I mean, it sucks. That'd be like if the Switch, right? So a lot of you know how good the Switch is. It's an excellent console. That would be like if the Switch flopped and like, you know, you hear, oh, Nintendo's working on the next console, and you're like, why? Like, like, just imagine, and like, if it turned out this way, like Animal Crossing's out, you know, Odyssey's out, all these great games are out, and then like, but nobody's buying it because of marketing. You're like sitting there going like, yo, like Animal Crossing New Horizons, Mario Odyssey, all these great things, like, I don't get it. Why is it not doing great? That was literally the Wii U. That was literally the Wii U. It was like, what? Like, why is nobody buying it? This is like a full-on like console just sitting here, doing terrible. And like, just so you guys know, like a lot of like the titles that like people love on the Switch, they were Wii U games, right? I mean, that's why they do like the whole like Deluxe, right? Like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The reason why it's called Deluxe and not just Mario Kart 8, because Mario Kart 8 was a Wii U game. That was like my favorite Wii U game is probably Mario Kart 8. So the reason why is that like the Wii U did so terrible, they were able to re-release it and slap a Deluxe with like all the DLC, and people would buy it. But it was like, dude, that was a Wii U game, and you know how fun Mario Kart 8 is. It's like Wii U had all these great games. Super Mario 3D World, dude. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, whatever it is. Like, 3D World is a full-on Wii U game. It's not a Switch game. Toad Treasure Tracker? Captain Toad Treasure Tracker? Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker? That's a Wii U game, man. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. It was called Super Mario Brothers U. New Super Mario Brothers U. But they re-released it on the Switch and slapped a... Was it Deluxe on it? That was a Wii U game. Like, again, how many more things do I gotta prove that it's like the Wii U failed not because of like the product, but marketing. Nobody wanted to play it because they thought it was just another... They thought it was like... A lot of people thought you're gonna get another Wii. Just a new iteration, an extension, as you will. You know, like the Sega CD or 32X. Like, oh man, what is this? Another Wii? It's so sad, man. So the Wii U is a collector's item. A lot of people are trying to go for it now and get full sets. And the Wii U is actually a really easy Nintendo console to get a full set with because of just the amount of games. Not a lot of games came out, right? Because it didn't last long. I mean, there's some super rare games that are like in the hundreds of dollars, but it's in terms of like collecting and trying to get them all, like it's a pretty small number. Oh my god. You know, one game specifically, Super Mario Brothers, new Super Mario Bros. U that came out on the Wii U. Did you know? For those who don't know, that was actually a 5-player game. Not 4. It was a 5-player game. The so you'd have 4 players normally. They would be like Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Rosalina. You can think of all the characters. I think you have to unlock Rosalina to play. But you know, Toad, right? Just like the normal Wii version. But the 5th player could use the gamepad. Well, you can. Okay, a 2nd player can use it too. But if you maxed out all 4 players, you could technically have a 5th player. Now, the cool thing about the 5th player, or the player that uses the gamepad, you can use the stylus or tap with your finger. Oh my gosh, I'm not even paying attention. You could stylus or tap with your finger, but you can actually help boost players or make platforms for the players to jump on. So it's actually a really fun way of like, you know, that's how me and Allie played. We played 2 players. She would do the gamepad and I would play. Because she preferred to be like a 2nd player that like is a support, not a 2nd player that's like actually playing. Same thing with Mario Galaxy. She loved the 2nd player. Okay, hold on. Before I continue with what I'm about to say, let's save it. But check it out real quick. Go up, Mario. Oh gosh, I'm an idiot. Pause. Check it out. Look at the score. 900 and... Well, that's interesting. So my score has been 998,000 for like 2 million. For some reason, it would not turn over to 900, and I guess it's the combination of like getting the right score so it hits 999,900. I just noticed that, but look, check it out. So we've moved on to the next I guess the next lap. I don't know what we want to call it. It's reset. I think we're on the 3rd reset. So if I'm not mistaken, this 3rd time around, once that score, it says the I. Once that score, the I score, it says 67,300. Once that gets in the 300,000 range, that is when the kill screen is. If this is the 3rd time around, that should happen. If it doesn't happen, I am thinking about just moving on to the next game. Thanks, everyone. We're back. Welcome back, Kevin. We've just been playing some Donkey Kong. Trying to get to the kill screen. Gosh, I already forgot what I was talking about with Allie. With us playing Wii U. Oh, but Super Mario Brothers Wii U, she loves more of like a support player than like actually being a 2nd player and co-oping. So like again with Mario Galaxy, like helping out with the bits, and then in Galaxy 2 you're given more abilities to like hold enemies and stuff. So anyways, that was fun for her to use the gamepad in Super Mario Brothers U. Because yeah, it's a great way that if you're trying to get 100% Mario Bros on New Super Mario Brothers U, you're trying to 100% it, get a second player who could do the gamepad, because it they can make all these go go. Yes. They can make all these platforms for you to jump up and get the coins that are hard to reach. Now, obviously the game is designed that you should be able to get everything by yourself, right? But, you know, I wasn't trying to prove anything, so I was like, oh, I want to get 100%, and Allie's here, so hey, let's do it this way. It'd be fun. Oh! Sorry, the D-pad's not precise on the Pro Controller. Gosh! Come on, move over. No, dude. Oh, yes. Oh, another benefit of somebody using the gamepad in Super Mario Bros. Wii U isn't just for hard to reach like coins, but also for bosses, because they can make a ladder. You know, because most bosses you have to jump on their head. So if the bosses are in a hard to reach place, instead of trying to jump and maneuver to hit their head, you can just have like a player make like a staircase effect with the platforms, right? And then boom, it's like beep beep beep, boom. Hit the boss on the head. And it sounds exactly like that. It sounds just like that. Boom! Ugh. Kevin, how's your coffee tasting? Wow. You know, I actually I originally did not like playing this game because it being like, it's kind of a hard game, but it's hard because it's an old game. And you know, some games that are old aren't hard because it's like an older game that's hard. It's like, it's just hard to play. Like the mechanics, the gameplay, it's just kind of hard to play because it's like an older game. And that was kind of like the big thing to like, I didn't like playing it because it was just like the style, the mechanics were just kind of hard to play, get used to. But at this point, I feel like I'm pretty decent. I'm not good. I will say right now, I'm not good. Dude, as you can see how many rewinds and save states I've had to make. But I feel like after playing it so long to just try to get to the kill screen, I've like gotten pretty decent. And I guess that's an obvious thing, right, with anything, right? The more you play, the more you do it, the better you get, so that's been the case for me. But you know, like, speedrunners are they're so interesting because they're hyper focused on one game, and they get really good at it. Like the people that are like really like Guinness World Record like good at this, it's like, oh my, like they play this on the original hardware all the way through, and they're able to get to the kill screen. It's good. I made it perfect today. I did a smaller batch. Nice. Glad you had a good cup of coffee. Oh shoot, look! We're in the kill screen! We're in the kill screen! It's the kill screen! Everybody look! We have 2 more tries, or 3 more tries. Look, you see how the score says 400 with the bonus? Oh yeah! Look! We made it to the kill screen! Oh, this is fantastic. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that we're able to experience this glitch. Oh my gosh. Dude, I've been working on this since August, you guys. This is what the kill screen looks like. Okay, so for me, it was 999,900 and and save a clip and a screenshot. I mean, just this stream alone, just this stream alone, will be a good way of documenting it. But oh my gosh, you guys, I've been working on getting to that kill screen since August 2021, and I remember like I was explaining earlier, I haven't been like grinding this hard every day, because you can grind this in one sitting for like 5 hours or something, from what I've been told, and from some of the videos. Like, it doesn't take that long to do it in one sitting. I mean, it's hours, but you know what I mean. But I've just been casually playing this off and on and saving it since August. Oh shit, good job. So then it just gives you unlimited points. Yeah, basically what the kill screen is, you guys. Kevin, so confused right now. Since August, yeah. So the kill screen is that, like, you see the points, right? Let's see. Maybe we could watch a clip so I can just screenshot. Okay, check it out. Check it out. So, okay, Kevin, do you see the screen right now you're looking at? So look at the top. There's the top score, and then there's that score that says the I. Then on the right-hand side, you got the M with the 3 in the brackets, and then you got bonus. It says 8,000, and then the L, the level, right? Your top score, your current score, how many lives you have with the M, and then bonus is like your time. That's kind of like it. You start out each level at 8,000, and it goes down as you're playing a level, and whatever you end the level with, it's just better, right? It's just like I guess you get a better score, you know, if you beat the level with a higher bonus. But it starts at 8,000, it just slowly drops. So like, look, see this video clip right here? It's 6,600, and it's dropping to 65, 64, 62, right? And again, you start with 8,000. So there's something called the kill screen, and basically, how you get to this kill screen is it's a glitch. The game doesn't know how to process like the memory with the point system. So what happens eventually is that you get to a certain level with the score, which I did right here. So 999,000 and this current score of 112,000. But you see, you have to loop like 3 times. And so that's what you've been seeing me doing for a while. This game is that score up there that's always changing, it like loops. So like in total, I think this is the 3. So at the 999,000, that's 1 million, right? That stays. The current score, which is the 112 you see, that one's always changing. And so that's like the one you've got to loop. See, in this clip, it's 600,000. This one is 519, right? So basically, we've hit 1 million like 3 times over. And I believe this is on the 3 millionth point, the 3rd time over. So it's 999,900, 112,000. But again, it's more like 3,112,500. And that's about the range that people say the kill screen is. It's all about hitting the points. It's got nothing to do with the level of how far you get in terms of level. It's about the points. So the kill screen is this. Eventually, watch this clip. Eventually, it doesn't know how to process the memory because of the score. So it starts you off with 400. Right here, check it out. 400, 300, 200, 100, dead. Versus starting you out with 8,000. And so that's how you know you hit the kill screen, is it basically, yeah, it doesn't know how to process the memory, so it's only able to give you 400 points. But there's nothing you can do. That's why they call it the kill screen, is because you can only get so far with the 400 points. You're like dead before you even hit the third row up. That's the kill screen. Yay, we beat it, you guys. Or that's what I would consider 100% in the game. That's what I would consider 100%ing the game, is to get to the kill screen, which we've documented. Some of you got to see live. Some of you got to hear in the background me going, whoa! Very cool. Awesome. Well, let's see what the next game is. Let's pull up our Google Sheet. We're going to display capture so you can see what I'm seeing. Let's go to Sheets. Okay, franchises to play through. So look at all the franchises are down here. So this is all the Mario games in chronological order. And you guys have seen me. You guys have seen. I think I've went over how I document all my games on a spreadsheet. But for those who have not seen it and are here currently watching, so this is all the Mario games in the Mario franchise in chronological order by release date. So again, the first game up here is Game and Watch Ball. So I have it by title, the platform it was released on, if I've completed it, the release date, and do I own it, right? And the reason why of do I own it is that I've been going through and cataloging my collection. Congratulations, you could die now. I've been going through my collection, and because I need to know if I already own the game, so I don't go on eBay and go, okay, next game in line, I need to buy it. The reason why because so for example, right here, I'm only right here in Donkey Kong, right? But we just beat it, right? So I need to put yes, and what's today's date? 1/16/22, like that, right? So the next game in line is Game and Watch Octopus, and it looks like it came out. We can either play this with the original Game and Watch on the original hardware, which I don't want to play. Maybe one day I'll collect it if I got the money and buy it. It's not that expensive, but it would just I wouldn't do much with it. Or I can play it on the Game Boy, and you're probably thinking, okay, but what do you mean by Game Boy? Well, I get specific, right? So I own this game. Yes. Or do I own? Yes. Physical. I own it physically, right? So I differentiate between physical and digital. So I own this. I own it physically. Game Boy, Game & Watch Gallery. Okay, so then I know that I can play this game on my Game & Watch Gallery. Now, there are some games like this. Crazy Kong Arcade and Crazy Kong Part 2. I don't own these. So, unfortunately, I'm going to get an emulation. FBI just entered chat. But there's no way I can buy this and play this own it, right? I mean, I don't need to tell you, but anybody who's plays emulation, everybody at least owns some emulation that they didn't pay for, right? Like MAME. You know, the whole MAME emulator to play like arcade games. Anyways, so I'm gonna try to get my hand on Crazy Kong and Crazy Kong Part 2, and we'll play through that and document it, but the next game on our list is a Game & Watch game, Octopus. Looks like I own it on Game & Watch Gallery. Cool. Well, there you have it. And of course, down below, all the different franchises. Like, look at here. Look at Crash Bandicoot. So I have the most recent one that's up to, that currently is released on Crash Bandicoot is Crash Bandicoot On the Run. Came out for Android. Spelled that. Android, iOS. Android. Oh. Let's see. Android, iOS. But look at the comparison of how many games in total exist for Crash. And then look at Mario. Look at this. Wow. So I'm going to be going through these games. Oh, and by the way, you're probably looking here and you're seeing yes. Right? So I have completed these games at some point in my life. So like Super Mario 64, I completed back in like the 90s when it came out. So that should be marked as a yes, because technically I did beat it. But the new series I'm going through, I'm trying to re-go through it again in chronological order. So I'm going to be replaying games I've already technically beat, but in the franchise playthrough, I'm going to be playing it again because that's what we're doing. So I am, even though I beat Super Mario Bros. On the NES, we're going to be playing through it again when we get there. But with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and end the stream. We've been streaming for 2 hours 14 minutes. Hey, I'm happy that we got something done and completed on the objective list, right? Got to beat Donkey Kong. So yeah, that was fun. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out, lurking, and like that's what I enjoy, right? I mean, you guys came in, some of you guys are active, some of you guys are lurking. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like I enjoy you being here. That's a form of support. So whether you're here, like I know some of you have been just have me on in the background, and that's awesome. I appreciate that because that's fun to me. If you're still here, just lurking in the background, or sometimes what I do when I watch when I'm watching other streamers, like I have 2 monitors. On my second monitor, I'll put up a Twitch stream and just be doing my thing while they're in the background, or sometimes I'll put somebody stream on a phone and I'm like playing a game on the couch. Similar to what you guys are probably doing that are lurking, but yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. If you want to, if like at the beginning of the stream you want to hang out and talk, and that's awesome. And then if you need, because I don't expect you to be here like laser focused, like watching like a sports game like the freaking Super Bowl. Come on. Like I don't expect you to have that sort of like dedicated time. So I understand that, at most you can like say hi in the beginning and then put me on lurk. And even putting him on lurk, I understand too that like that's not always easy because you got to have a dedicated device that you're always on, and it's like either taking up bandwidth, and if you're on your phone, it's like people call, you got to get things done, and or you're on a computer and you have a window open and maybe you need to concentrate because you're working. I understand that even lurking is not always easy too. So for those that have been lurking, I appreciate that. That's super supportive. It says thanks for the good content, bud. Of course, Ahu, I enjoyed it always. Much love to you and yours. Thank you, man. Proud of you, son. All right, guys. Well, that'll conclude the stream. We're trying. I keep talking about it. I'm trying to get on a stream schedule and not just be going live random. And my what I want is to be streaming consistently Tuesday, Thursday, and then like a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon like this. I preferably want to try to shoot for Saturdays, like in this time range, but I don't know. Maybe it'll work Sundays. I don't know, but like I want to get consistent. That way, like if you guys want to be here, like you can. And not saying I'm like that important, but it would help you just to know. Then maybe you can schedule things around when I go live, right? Because what if you're like you don't know when I'm going live, but you're out to dinner or you're at a friend's house, and as Jamie goes live, and you're like, well, can't watch it. I'm hanging out with family right now or out to dinner, so I can't really watch it, right? So like that's the problem of just having a random schedule, is that like it's easy for me, but it's hard for you to join because like you've already have things going on. So we're gonna try to shoot for Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday. We're gonna try to figure out what's better, the Saturday or Sunday, because a lot of you are not available during this time on a Saturday. So and Saturday is a sort of people's party night anyway, so might be hard to stream on a Saturday because no one's probably going to be able to come, but maybe a Sunday around this time. But have a great night, y'all. Peace out, trout. Later, salmon. Later, bro. All right, guys. So maybe I'll see you guys Tuesday night. But if we do the Tuesday, Thursday, and that's consistent, that's going to be around 7:38. So if you are looking to be a part of the stream and consistent, come hang out, put me down for your calendars Tuesday, Thursday night at 7:38. With that being said,